Hey everyone, this is the Alpicool C15 compressor refrigerator freezer. And this is my second unit. The first one arrived with some cosmetic damage. It worked fine, but there was a crack in the plastic housing and the box was a little beaten up. So sent it back for a replacement one. But just a couple of pieces of information about this. It comes with the car cord as well as the 110 house current power cord, so that's nice that you do get both right off the bat. A couple of things that I've seen come up online. Some people say that the units smell when the compressor's running when you unbox it. It is true. When you first get this, there's a very strong plastic odor from this. I compare it to if you've ever bought a plastic ammo can from Harbor Freight. That's the closest thing I can think of to this smell. It's the same kind of plasticky, somebody described it as tobacco, I think, in a review, but it does go away. It takes a couple of days, and it is pretty potent the first couple of days, but it does eventually go away, and I don't smell it while the compressor is running. So it's just whatever plastic they've used and components. It's shipped with these pieces of insulation on the top and the bottom, which would be great to kind of cut and place on top of the cooler to further insulate it, because when you're running it at pretty low temps, you do feel the cool bleeding through the lid. So that piece of packing would be ideal to kind of reinforce the insulation on the top. And I considered getting the C20. The C20 gives you 5 liters more of capacity, but the thing with it is the increase in capacity is in the lid. The lid is just a thicker lid. So the box itself is the same size, and I figured that because the lid is where the cold bleeds through, probably it's just going to make it more inefficient by having the extra space in the lid. So that's why I decided on that. There's the digital display. Guys, this is not accurate at all. Right now, I have it set to -15 Fahrenheit. And yes, you can change it from Celsius to Fahrenheit. We'll go over that shortly. But it is not -15 Fahrenheit. The compressor is not running. You can see the red light next to the power button. That means the compressor is off. The red light next to Eco and Max means that this is set to max cooling. But let's just take a look in the box and see what the thermometer is saying. And I've loaded this up with just some seltzer water bottles filled with tap water, just to kind of take up some space here to see how it performs when the box is fuller. So let's take a look on the... We're about 0. So not -15, 0 is where we're at. While we've got this open, you can see there is some condensation that forms here. It's kind of freezing around the edges of the box. This could also be increased because I have put this through some cycles of using it as a refrigerator, set in the mid-30s, then taking it down to as cold as I can get it and bringing it back up. So probably if you just were using it as one or the other, that would eliminate a lot of this condensation that's formed. This is the sensor for my indoor-outdoor thermometer. This is currently reading like 1-2 degrees or so. So it does freeze. You could see those seltzer bottles were rock solid. And you can bring this sub-zero. I've had it to maybe to -7 or so Fahrenheit. So it will definitely freeze, and it will freeze solid. There's no doubt about that. So there are hidden settings on this, and it makes it a lot more usable with those hidden settings. And if you'd like a copy of this, just comment below. I'm happy to send it to you. Alpicool sent me this PDF, which I printed out, but this goes over the hidden settings. The big one that I think a lot of people ask about is switching this from Celsius to Fahrenheit. And what you do, we'll come over here and do this quickly. Get my cheat sheet. Power the unit off. And then press the, what are we doing here? Alright, so you power the unit off, you press the set button, and hold, okay, E1. E1 is the lowest temperature setting, E2 is the highest temperature setting, E3 is temperature return, E4 is soft set, E5 is Fahrenheit and Celsius. So while we were doing this, did we lose the hidden settings mode? Yes, okay, so power off. E1. Alright, so E1 is set to -40, E2, E3, E4, E5, that's what we're looking for. So here you toggle between Celsius and Fahrenheit, so we'll leave that set at Fahrenheit. Then you have E6, E7, and E8, and I'll quickly discuss those settings. So I had to ask Alpicool for some clarification on this. What these three settings are for is to compensate for the incorrect digital display. So like we just saw, when using this as a freezer around 0, the digital display is off by almost 15 degrees. So you can compensate for that. You can see if the digital display is off less than 7 degrees, you use E6 for the compensation. 7 to 12 degrees of discrepancy, E7. Above 13, you use E8. I haven't done any of this because, unfortunately, managing the temperatures is very difficult with this unit. The digital display is off much more when using it as a freezer, especially if you set it to temperatures below 0, the digital display is way off. If you're just using this as a refrigerator and setting it to maybe mid to low 30s, it appears to only be off by a couple of degrees. So I think it's just going to take a lot of playing with these units. And this seems to be a universal thing in the reviews for the Alpicool C15 and C20. One review I saw with the even bigger Alpicool, it's even worse with the discrepancies. But, I mean, we're talking about an issue with what that digital display shows. So it's not a matter of, oh, it won't maintain a steady temperature, it's just maintaining the steady temperature that's not being reflected in that digital display. So, quickly about power consumption, I don't have any hard numbers on that. I will try to do another review, but I can tell you I ran it at about 34 degrees for 8 hours off of my my solar generator here, and this is a dead marine deep cycle battery. It's about 8 years old. It doesn't come up to full voltage anymore, but it will power stuff for my needs, so I haven't replaced it. But to give you an idea, on that dead marine battery, it was at about 12.9 volts. 8 hours later of maintaining 30-degree temps with an ambient air temperature of probably low 70s, the voltage read 12.7 volts. So, and I believe I had this on eco mode for that test. So it really sips the power. It's very power efficient. And, this is just anecdotal evidence. There are other reviews and videos where there's much more in-depth information about the wattage that it consumes at different temperatures and settings. So, and I'll try to do a follow-up with that info. Yeah, so I think it's definitely worth it. If you compare this to other true compressor refrigerator freezers, it's hundreds more. So, and even with the price hike, the C15 has jumped up to $240. I think the C20 is $280. Even with those price bumps, I just don't think that you'd find something similar that does truly freeze and maintains pretty steady temperatures in that same price range. So yeah, if you have any questions, just let me know. If you'd like me to send these hidden settings to you, please let me know also. Just comment below, I'll get those out to you. It's pretty handy. It also discusses the 3 settings for the battery protection, which is really nice. And yeah, this just makes the unit a lot more usable with these settings. I don't know why they just don't include it in the manual right off the bat. But okay, thanks for watching. Please subscribe, and just let me know if you have questions.
So here you have the new Alpicool C20 refrigerator freezer, and so I have it cooling down right now. I have it set at I actually have it set at 34 degrees, but you can see what it thinks it's at. It's actually thinking that it's reading 37 internally. I have temperature probes. If I look inside, I have a temperature probe inside. I put some 10 pounds of honey in there to give it a load to see what it does. I put the honey in there at 70 degrees and watched it cool down. As you can see, the 36 degrees is the air temperature. The 84 is the humidity. So it's pretty humid where I am. But that first probe is the temperature of the honey. The second probe there would be the air temperature in the box. And if I look here, I had it open for a bit while I'm talking to you, but that air temperature is basically sitting around 34 degrees, which is what it's set at. And then the temperature of the honey is 37 degrees. And that's just because the honey hasn't cooled all the way down, because I started at 70 degrees. But that's where it started. And there, that's the sound that you can hear. It just kicked in because I had it open. It's really quiet, and I'll be quiet for a second so you can kind of hear the noise from the compressor. So it's very quiet. If I'm talking, you probably wouldn't even notice that it's making any noise. It has a nice little monitor on here. I haven't taken off all the stickers and everything because I just wanted to get it open and see if I was going to keep it. I bought it for a camping trip, and so far so good. I'm going to plug this into a Jackery battery pack and hopefully power this for 24 hours while I'm out hiking the mountains.